We could never talk to these people. A slight mispronunciation.
Oh, we'd be done.
Yeah, we'd be screwed, killed 5 seconds in. Wow, what a great transition. Oh no! Oh man, what if this was the entire episode? Like,
oh, that'd be so great. Like, screw these insect things.
So today's episode, The Big Goodbye, I think in some ways kind of reminiscent of A Piece of the Action, an episode that you famously loved when we did our reaction to that. What'd you think about this one?
Well, it's called The Big Goodbye, but I think I need to say a big hello to possibly my favorite episode so far. You've said it like 8 times so far. I love this. I love this a lot.
The first time we've seen like a holodeck gone wrong episode. I'm curious how many of those there'll be. It's something that in theory, like, it isn't really like a Star Trek episode. Like, it's like so different, you know, but it really worked with these characters. And I'm excited to, you know, jump in and talk about what worked so well about it. But I also really, really liked our reaction for this one. So we're going to throw right over the reaction, and we'll see you guys on the other side for our full thoughts on the episode, as well as our patron takes, which I'm also very, very curious to know what they thought of this one. So we'll see you guys on the other side.
We are about to make a brief but necessary contact with the Harada. The Harada demand a precise greeting, in this case, from Captain Picard. Their language is most unusual. The slightest mispronunciation is regarded as an insult.
We could never talk to these people. A slight mispronunciation.
Oh, we'd be done.
Yeah, we'd be screwed, killed 5 seconds in.
Oh, this is an insect mine, sir.
My mind is barely working.
Oh, he's got another headache.
Captain, you need the diversion.
Dixon Hill.
The program's installed and waiting.
More holodeck. Let's go.
You know, we've had nothing but problems with their shore leaves. Let's just do it on the ship from now on, guys.
I mean, you can have basically anything here.
I'm entering the ship's holodeck, where images of reality can be created by our computer. Highly useful in crew training. Highly enjoyable when used for games and recreation.
But you can also role play. Is that what he's doing here? He's going to role play as Dixon Hill here.
Oh, that's cool.
We get to see him be a PI.
Oh man, what if this was the entire episode? Like,
oh, that'd be so great. Like, screw these insect things. I just want to see him pretend to be a PI.
Mr. Leach called twice, and there's a lady named Bradley waiting in your office. Nice legs. Not you, her.
yeah, man, talk about a detailed update. My God.
At least you're ready for Halloween.
Halloween?
They don't even know what Halloween is in the future.
I need your help, Mr. Hill. Someone is trying to kill me.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm down with it. I'm fine with it.
As long as Gary 7 doesn't show up.
Yeah, I'm hoping we don't leave the holodeck. It's all just Picard trying to figure something out. It's all a little murder mystery, but it's Picard.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that they'll cut back to the Enterprise for like B-story stuff.
Yeah.
To have the other characters involved, but hopefully Picard's just in there.
The characters I'll meet are generated by the computer, of course, yet they feel real.
Yeah, I'll just put this out there now. I don't know who Dixon Hill is, but I get the gist.
Do you even think it's a real person? Like
I could, yeah, probably.
I need you to find out. Name your fee.
$20 a day, plus expenses.
The big bucks.
Remarkable.
Well, superimposed. So
Exit.
cool looking. Ah, boo!
You'll have to call again. I'm just leaving. I'm not dressed properly. I'll be back.
Mr. Hill, where are you?
It just still goes on while he's gone? I guess if you, like, don't turn it off.
Yeah, that was terrible ADR.
Memory, save current setting.
Current settings saved.
Holodeck
Save
on.
my progress.
Wait, also, he still has the lipstick.
Oh.
That's interesting. So it's like, how realistic is this thing? Like, what if you get hurt or something in there? You know what I mean?
That might be that's where things actually start happening.
Oh, there we go. There's
When I looked
Worf.
down into the street, I actually saw automobiles.
Often a prime ingredient in teenage mating rituals.
Teenage mating rituals?
He's back too.
What are you doing here, Wesley? Did Picard call this meeting just to talk about this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they all are interested in what the new, the new holodeck update.
Oh.
He didn't wipe it off.
Well, I'm going to go again. Only this time, I'm going to dress the part. Why not come with me?
Yes, I'd like that.
I want to take that 20th century historian,
Who, Whalen?
but he knows more about Dixon Hill than I do.
Shall I tell him, sir?
Invite him, Mr. Data. This is supposed to be a recreational activity.
Oh, she thought it was like a date.
It was absolutely incredible. When that woman kissed me, it was so
Exciting?
real.
Man, they make it seem like before this update, the holodeck was real basic.
This Dixon Hill is a most puzzling character.
Not really. He was just a 20th century Sherlock Holmes.
Ah, but was his modus operandi not dissimilar? Worth investigating.
Indubitably, my dear Data. Indubitably.
Nice to see those two have like a real conversation.
The Haradan rendezvous is still 11 hours away.
Plenty of time.
I am about to re-enter
Yeah.
the world of Dixon Hill. An experience like this is more enjoyable when shared, so I've invited our fiction expert, Whalen, to accompany me.
New character unlocked.
So this guy's the equivalent of Space Seed.
Yep, I was just about to say that, yeah.
Oh!
Permission to accompany you, sir. I am totally versed in the genre of the period.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wow, what a great transition.
Don't stand in the street. I like how that guy's the one to pull him. Like, hey, don't, because he's like the expert. Like, hey, don't
Yeah.
stand in the street. Oh, that looks so cool.
Must have been a pretty good budget for this one.
Is that a set alleyway, or they're actually somewhere?
Well, I'm sure it's a backlot or whatever,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
still, like, have all the background actors and everything.
Is that Dick Miller?
Actually thinks you're Dixon Hill. Say, Mac, I would like to buy a newspaper too, but I don't have any money.
Hey, you catch me next time, huh, Dix?
The record will stand until the year 2026, when a shortstop for the London Kings.
Hey, Dix, what gives with this guy? He's not from around here, is he?
No, he's not. He's from South America.
Yeah. He's got a nice tan.
What about his eyes? Oh, she was murdered.
Oh, boy.
This time you've really done it. Your goose is cooked but good.
Sorry about this, Dix.
You're going downtown. The murder of Jessica Bradley. Found this in her purse.
Man, I got like 4 or 5 business cards, so if I get murdered, there's gonna be some suspects.
We're being probed, sir. The Harada. Most likely, but it's long range. Can't be certain where it's originating.
Oh, here we go. They couldn't just let it be a fun little thing.
Commander, I'm receiving a subspace message from the Harada.
That's not part of the plan. Pipe it through.
See what these things look like.
We speak to you in your language. The time has come for you to honor us in ours.
This is Commander Riker, first officer of the Enterprise.
You offend us. We will not show ourselves to a mere subordinate. We await your captain's greeting with growing unrest. End of communication.
Find the captain. He's in the holodeck.
Aye, sir.
Why'd he get up so quick? You see? That was crazy.
Hopped right up.
Enter when ready. When ready. When ready.
So we assume that all these things are going to get out onto the Enterprise, and these characters are going to interact. That's what I'm hoping.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Dr. Crusher.
Hiya, Doc. What's cooking?
You know, I had some trouble getting through. Where's Captain Picard?
He's on ice.
Pardon?
He's being grilled.
Why is he talking like that?
Why aren't we all being interrogated? Maybe I should go and help him.
No, relax, Doc. He's having the time of his life in there.
Spill it! I've told you everything I know.
Riker here.
I can't find the captain, sir.
I told you he's in the holodeck.
I'm at the holodeck. I can't communicate with him, I can't access the program, and I can't open the doors.
There's your urgency.
Due to a breakdown in the holodeck, we are unable to contact the captain.
Oh, if only he knew Wesley was on the bridge, he'd be...
He's what? Get me the hell out of here.
You think you're tough, Hill? But you're nothing. Don't take him too seriously, Dix. His old lady's been giving him a hard time. You know how it is.
Well, a good cop, bad cop.
Pretty hep-looking broad.
Is that good?
It ain't bad. You like Tommy Dorsey? I got 2 tickets for the dance tomorrow night.
Oh, no!
Oh, it's going to be in your stomach for years, I think.
She's a doctor. She can figure it out.
Easy, Wes. Slow it down. If there's an anomaly, you could go right past it, okay?
Don't worry, Jordy. I'm an expert on this.
I've been studying these for days.
I get the feeling your friend doesn't like me. We know you're dealing with red block, Dixon. Take it from a friend. It doesn't help your case. Red block.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah.
When are you coming over for supper? Kids would love to see you. You know how much you love Sharon's cooking.
You just interrogated me for an hour about murder. Now I'm coming over for dinner.
Just imagine his, like, you know, futuristic body never exposed to nicotine or tobacco. Just like...
Yeah, it'd be like instant death.
Yeah, his throat just torched.
Do we have time to see your office?
Yes, of course. Why not?
Captain, mind if I join you?
Me too, boss. I'd love to take a gander.
Read the room, dude.
That'll have to wait.
But we have business. Urgent business. You're not going anywhere.
They're all so excited.
I am not a man to be toyed with, Mr. Hill. You are hired to locate a certain object. I demand to know what you have done with it.
I suppose a few moments longer. I'm afraid I can't help you, Mr. Leach. The game is over.
This guy's pretty good.
Take it from me, Leach. You'll never find it. Now, give me the gun.
Oh. This is where the illusion is broken.
But they're not real.
This is one of like the few times where like kind of being in a head is fun. You know what I mean? Like we can tell like, okay, I think it's gonna be real.
Yeah.
So seeing them act like it's not.
Oh, there you go. There's his first punch.
Dare you? You're going to be sorry. I promise.
Oh, don't mess with Picard, man.
He can only throw punches in the 20th century.
But yeah, like I was saying, like seeing them like act, you know, oh, we're being, you know, they're aiming a gun at us, like stuff like that's super fun.
Yeah, a good version of the dramatic irony.
Yeah.
Computer, identify exit.
That looks brutal. I'm still curious if the holodeck hadn't been like affected by whatever that was. You know, what are its limits normally? I'm still curious about that. I'm sure we'll eventually learn more about it, but it's clearly he didn't expect to be shot. So
yeah.
And Picard had the lipstick when he left, so it's like you can be affected, but like up to what point? You know?
Yeah.
We were in a holodeck-created building of 1941.
Maybe all this was gonna happen with the new update. The only thing that changed was that they couldn't leave.
That they're locked in. Yeah.
I could use some light.
That's good. That's good.
That is funny.
Which one struck you?
It was him.
Oh. Dude, he just ate that.
But here's the thing, though. Data can solo all of them. You know that, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know if being shot would affect him. He's super strong.
Do you think being shot would affect him? That's a good question. I mean, he said he had something similar to human blood, so.
Yeah.
Where were you hatched, anyway?
I was created on a planet, Data, South America.
I've never seen anything like you.
He's not from this world. None of us are. We are from a world.
I like how we just stopped Data.
Yeah, but he's about to go into that.
It is you who are imaginary characters derived from a work of fiction.
Give it up, fellas. These guys are too smart to fall for that kind of story.
He's trying to make them self-aware that they're AI.
We're on a quest for knowledge, Mr. Leach. We want the item.
We don't have it.
Shall I kill him?
No. Kill the woman.
Oh. Oh, that's a good cut to commercial.
Yeah.
I'll explain. But first, tell Leach to back off.
Put the gun down, Mr. Leach.
But I so much want to kill her.
Maybe later. It won't harm us to listen to Mr. Hill.
Don't make any deals with that slime, Dix.
Jeez.
We went so long without any punches in this episode. We had like 7.
I don't know if I should, sir. If this isn't done correctly, the program could abort, and everyone inside could vanish.
They would vanish with?
Yeah, I think he's like saying there's a chance that they would all just delete.
They get absorbed into the AI and destroyed.
Computers are used to control, process, perform, or store.
Enough. Let me kill him. He's really beginning to irritate me.
Yeah, he does hold that gun really weird.
Like this.
Oh!
Run! Go!
The exit.
That's it. That's the way into our world.
Well, see you later.
Go!
What are you doing?
Can one enter your world, return to this one, simply by stepping through?
Oh, yes. Allow us to help Mr. Whalen, and we will return with the item.
He doesn't even know what it is.
You think you can kill a cop and get away with it?
Why not? I've done it before.
Cold-blooded.
Oh, shit.
Another world. A whole new world of plunder.
Oh, no.
They can't do this to me. They know who I am. I'm Cyrus Redblood. Cyrus Redblood!
That's pretty great.
With your permission, sir?
Permission granted.
We probably killed him.
I was gonna say, if he was full power, his jaw would have exploded.
Data, pick up Whalen. Take him to sickbay.
And you, sir?
I'll follow. You go now.
Blood just found out he ain't real.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's gonna disappear in like 30 seconds when this thing's turned off. So
yeah,
well, you gotta have this empathetic moment. I guess it's fine.
I have to go. So, this is the big goodbye.
Lighting.
Oh, they said it.
Goodbye, my friend.
Captain.
You ready, sir? Ready as on be number one. Open hailing frequencies.
Still got the suit.
Klaxon Ries Blash Blanarnik Karnik. Trasula.
I think you nailed it.
You have honored us with your words of greeting. A new day dawns between us.
Now into the second part of your greeting. What?
It was raining in the city by the bay. A hard rain. Hard enough to wash the slime.
Data.
Sorry, sir.
Lieutenant, take us out of orbit.
Aye, sir.
And Mr. LaForge,
Sir.
step on it.
Woof.
Well, you can tell that was Patrick Stewart's favorite episode. And it was probably method acting from every time he had to be back on the Enterprise. Hey, did you know that watching our videos and not liking the video is preventing hundreds, even thousands of other Star Trek fans from seeing our videos and our reactions? So please, do what you can. Lend a helping hand. Drop a like below.
Oh, well, that was fun.
That was great. I loved it. Thank you. We'll see you guys.
That's a normal reaction video.
You know, I notoriously hate situations where we're ahead of our characters, mainly in mystery situations. We're like, oh, we saw the lightning zap into the Enterprise. We know something's wrong, and I hate when our characters don't. But it's so fun in a situation like this, where like, okay, we know that they're trapped, and we know things are getting real, but they don't. So we get to see the fun.
You're not going anywhere. Not until we have a little chat.
So fun, and then finally we get that moment where he's shot, and it's like, it's real. And we get to see Picard throw a punch!
That was awesome. I think this just goes to show that there are things that, you know, we critique a lot. Some people would even go as far as to say we nitpick a lot. But I think that this is proof that even the stuff we harp on a lot or say that we really don't like, if done the right way, we'll really love. You know, I think the being ahead of the characters on the show, as well as for me, the fish out of water, like those are things that I feel like have just been done to death. And the fish out of water stuff, I'm so surprised with this franchise, both with Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, and this episode, how well they've been able to do the fish out of water without it being like, you know, just the same thing we've seen a million times with that trope. Like, seeing these characters interact in the 20th century was so fun. It was some of my favorite stuff of the episode. Data, who I have been waiting to get into and actually like as a character, him acting in this 20th century.
And comes in, you know, speaking the lingo. You see Brent Spiner just killing it, having a great time. Similar to Space Seed, we have someone who's an expert at that time. One of my favorite details, just a small detail, where they open it up and it's the street. And it's so cool because it's like on the Enterprise and the camera goes through and like they're on this set. I'm like, oh, this looks awesome. And Picard's like looking around and the guy's like pulls him like, hey, get out of the street, because they're unfamiliar with like walking on regular city streets. I'm like, little things.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and okay, Josh praises Gates McFadden moment. Woo! She's excellent when she jumps into the holodeck with them, and I was afraid by the way they set it up in the beginning in the scene where they're all talking to each other, where it's like, oh, her whole point of this episode is going to be based on following around Picard like a puppy dog, and she doesn't. I mean, there's some of the stuff with them, but she has her own moments and her own funny little quirks in this episode when she goes in there. The scene where the guy behind her tries hitting on her and gives her the gum and everything is pretty great.
She eats it.
Yeah, and swallows it. Yeah. So every character that went into the holodeck got like their own little moments, which I was surprised by because I thought it was going to be Picard centered. I mean, when the episode started and we saw the opening hook, we thought it was going to be Picard in there the whole time and that's it. Not what it was, but I actually liked the way they ended up going with it. I do kind of wish that like nothing went wrong and it was just like a fun holodeck episode. But seeing how it played out, I understand like you have to have the holodeck broken because they could just leave at any time.
Yeah, you need that urgency, or I guess to add more stakes. But like, I didn't feel like I needed like. It would have been fun if the entire thing was just like a no stakes, like they could have left at any time.
Yeah.
And it's just Picard acting as a detective with like the other three, Data, the 20th century guy, and Crusher, and just like you've seen TV shows like that where like the entire episode is just like within like the canon of like a weird gimmick. I think It's Always Sunny did it with like a noir episode.
Yeah.
Well, hello, sweetheart. You know they say any port in a storm. This port just shit. It's you.
It's such huge respect if they just did that, where it's just them as their characters acting as other characters. That'd be so fun.
Get off the paper.
Can't. I'm dead.
Yeah, but I do respect that, you know, going into it thinking like, man, yeah, I wish this is just like a no stakes fun episode. And then when they introduce the stakes, I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing the stakes, you know, but I don't really buy into it. But then when Wayland gets shot, I truly did buy into the stakes. Like, we know that Picard, Data, and Crusher aren't going to die. But watching it, the way they pulled it off was actually believable and so well done, where now this guy's dying and they're all shocked by it. I really loved it.
Yeah, good point. I'm glad that none of them were shot, because if any of them were shot, it's like, okay, no. But this other guy was shot. I'm like, oh, shoot, this guy might actually die. I loved the ending with the police officer.
And you're gone. Will my wife and kids still be waiting for me at home?
I honestly don't know. It made me think about like existence and like what is that? What it's like when you die, or it's like, I don't know, AIs or computers. It's like when you shut them off. Is this what it's like for them within the reality of their existence? It started freaking me out a bit. I love those existential thoughts that scene, and I wish like as soon as it went dark, end of the episode.
Over, yep.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Very ahead of its time, too, for being in the 80s to tackle something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I 100% agree. I was actually going to say it in the reaction, but I didn't because I wanted to give it a chance to see where it goes. But when the holodeck doors closed and it was black, I was like,
credits.
Yeah,
I said the same thing. Credits,
yeah.
Please.
And we get that last scene, and it's okay.
Yeah, you know, I guess we needed like the resolve, because it would have made sense because they've set up like, oh, you got to translate, you got to make sure you get it right.
And I want to talk a little bit more about that relationship with Dr. Beverly and Picard, because the captain can't be in a relationship with someone on the crew, like someone in the ship, but it's like they clearly have chemistry and like, ooh, the tension in this one between them two.
Have a good time.
Because it's in the holodeck and they're role-playing as different people, is it okay? Like, they're really kind of, with the other characters having, you know, romances, it's a little bit more like, I get it. But with the captain and the doctor, like, it seems pretty taboo.
The two characters from TAS were a captain and a doctor that ended up getting married.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Isn't that crazy? But I still think Data could have, you know, wrecked house if he wanted to.
Yeah, and then when he punched that one guy, that guy's head should have exploded.
Yeah, yeah. I got to give a shout out to possibly my favorite performance, because he basically plays the same character from Reservoir Dogs, Lawrence Turney. I love that guy. He's great.
And I loved the moment where they disappear, how they think they've won, and they're like,
yeah,
a whole new world. And they just start.
They can't do this to me. Don't they know who I am?
Disappearing.
What?
Yeah, that was great. I also, small scene, but there's a scene where Data and Geordi are just walking down the hallway and just having a conversation. That's, you know, it's mostly exposition to set up the episode, but it's like, just give me more of that, please. Like, if you have to do exposition, like, have it be little character interactions, because I always love seeing two characters interact that aren't the captain and someone else. Like, anytime it's just two side characters, I'm into it. So, you know, give exposition in that way just makes it a bit more interesting.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm glad I guess, I didn't care that we didn't see the aliens. I didn't need to see a guy in a bug suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it'd be fun with a really bad rubber suit, but just like an obvious human face. Like different color, just like a Halloween costume.
Like he's literally wearing a suit,
Yeah,
but then it's just a human head coming out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I would have really loved to see just an episode with actors acting as actors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The one unfortunate part is like watching an episodic show from the 80s is I don't think like TV had gotten to a point yet where shows felt safe doing that. Like it's like every episode has to have this and kind of like hit the beats. And even though some of these episodes already have surprised me and subverted my expectations, you can tell that it's like, we're not going to have an episode where there's just no stakes. You know what I mean? So we got to have a reason for the audience to want to continue watching it. Like they don't trust, rightly so. You know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like they don't trust that it's like, oh, they'll watch this no matter what. Like they don't know we're watching it on a Blu-ray 40 years later, you know, for YouTube. Like they think that these people got to be pulled into the episode constantly, so they have to set up those stakes. It's just a detriment to the way the show ages, kind of. And there are shows today, like you said, that they'll do a whole episode where it's just something goofy, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I think TV shows do that now when they're already well established, and it's like they're gonna watch this. But for like season 1, 10 episodes in of like a rebooted show, it's like I don't feel like you can take those stakes just yet. It's like we still need to hook the core audience. It's like if someone just walks in and sees this, they might not even know what the hell it is, that it's Star Trek even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First episode in 88 that aired. So we're now in 88.
We're making progress.
We're making progress. We're almost there.
All right, we're going to jump into our patron takes. This is where our patrons get to tell us what they think of the episode, as well as predictions for how we're going to feel about it and questions for us too. So let's jump into it.
I got one from Cash Wednesday. A lot of people dislike these holodeck episodes, this being the first. Personally, I love these. Sure, they typically aren't meaty plot-wise, but the actors get to have fun, ham it up, and even give some backstory to their characters every now and then. Turn your brain off for about 40 minutes or so and just have fun. Absolutely. Hell yeah.
And we wanted even more of that. Like, we wanted it to go further into the don't worry about it, just have fun, and not impose the stakes on us.
Yeah, and what a great excuse. I mean, it'd be repetitive if they did it like every time, but what a great excuse to go wherever you want in U.S. history, or not even U.S. history, anywhere history. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like there was always a weird reason in TOS, like, oh, it's a planet where they discovered a 30s mafia book and made it their Bible. It's like, how about this? We just have a room where we can do whatever we want. But I'm sure that'll get repetitive if it goes wrong every time.
All right, this is from Badger. Well, here we go. Finally, an episode that feels like the Star Trek that will take you through the rest of the series. They have all found their stride and placed by now, so onward and upward to the Batcave. Question for you. TOS was family. Are you there yet with TNG after this episode? Yes. Yes. I love all these characters. I somehow fell in love with them immediately, like in the first episode.
Yeah, I like them all. I still think we need a little bit more of some others. I'd like to see a Geordi-centered one, Worf-centered one, but we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. They all have their moments. Just another one where Worf was just there, didn't do anything.
Yeah, he was in this one, but just had 2 lines or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely there's more to flesh out, but I just mean just in terms of like, it's just crazy to me. I don't know if it's the Star Trek label, but it's like, I just like already just love these characters and like love the show. You know what I mean? Even though there hadn't even been episodes before today, you know, the last 2 we watched that like, you know, I've said like, oh, I'm still waiting for it to like blow me away, but it's like, even that aside, like the characters themselves, I've just already accepted. I don't know, it was so weird. It was like an instant click for me in that way, where I want to learn more, but even if we don't, I don't know. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I felt at home. Like, also, like, this is like, I've been waiting for this since we started. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, we had to start with TOS. And I say we had to, because at that moment, I'm like, I just wanted to get the TNG, because Red Letter Media talked about him. I just wanted to, you know, because they talked about it's the best show ever. I'm like, okay, great. Oh, we have, and I didn't even know what TOS was at the time. I'm like, oh, we have to go watch TOS. Oh, it's like a 15-minute, you know, whatever, goofy space story. I didn't realize they were all 50 minutes, and they were really great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel at home. Like, we're finally here. This one's from Mark Crisco. Despite too much Wesley, to me, the first really good episode, thought-provoking and heartbreaking in its finale, an award winner as well. Oh, I wonder what award it won.
Too much Wesley's in like one scene.
Just him saying, "Oh, I've been studying up on the holodeck," was enough for me. Like, oh, of course you have. You just knew that there'd be problems. But yeah, I've said earlier, like thought-provoking and heartbreaking. You know, definitely. This one's from a Tyrannus fan. The first holodeck gone wrong episode, I was fine with the idea that it can break down and trap people inside. I was fine with the notion of safeties that could break, since it does create real things inside. Wesley getting wet in the pilot, for example. But the one thing that I cannot get behind was the notion that if they don't repair it properly, the program will collapse and everyone in the holodeck can vanish. That's complete nonsense inserted for TV drama. The holodeck isn't creating the people. The worst thing that can happen when you unplug it is the lights go out and they're just locked in a dark room. Fortunately, they didn't do 2 crazy holodeck gone crazy stories. Well, a little spoiler there, but yeah, I do agree that, like, because of what they're doing here, if it shuts down, they get lost inside it. It's like,
Yeah, I had 2 possible explanations for it. One being that's only the case because of this thing that hit it or whatever. That's not usually how the holodeck is. It's just because of this scenario. Or 2, Wesley's just wrong because he's stupid and not as smart as he says he is.
Yeah, he says something like, oh, if we do this, it's a big risk, because if we do this, there's a possibility this might happen. It's like we had the stakes of these bug people or whatever. It's like, I don't need these extra stakes here, Wesley.
Yeah.
It just seems like a bit like too much. Like, okay, this guy dying inside is enough. I don't need the possibility that they're all going to disappear forever. You know?
Was it them just trying to address like just turn it off and turn it back on again? Like, no, we can't, but I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, but it's like the stakes worked with that guy possibly dying because he's not one of the big crew members. But like him saying like, oh, they could all disappear. It's like, yeah, okay.
And I did like the one little moment where it switched to like a snow.
Yeah, we didn't even talk
environment.
about that. Yeah, like same static shot. I mean, it didn't line up perfectly. I don't like trying to like get him in the exact same position. Like, that's fine, but just the fact that it was like the same angle, that was fun. Oh, what the hell? You know, like the mobster people. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I wish I had that Oppenheimer hat. That would have been good to close with. So many good ideas.
If only we pre-watched the episode.
I knew.
Oh! That's her doctor hand. Oh, shit!